And we have some breaking inputs coming in. Waheed Parra of the PDP has now been arrested by the NIA. Remember, he has been questioned yesterday. PDP's youth wing president Waheed Parra in connection with the case related to separatism in Jammu and Kashmir. And Parra, who had recently filed his nomination form for the upcoming District Development Council elections, has now been arrested. And he had appeared before the NIA at his headquarters as well yesterday. But the latest big developments coming in that the PDP leader has now been arrested. That is, Waheed Parra has now been arrested by the NIA. We'll shortly go across to my colleague as well. In fact, before that, let's go across to my colleague Shravan Sen for more on this. Shravan, over to you. Please share more.
Well, a confirmation now coming in, Richard, that the National Investigation Agency has arrested PDP's youth president, Waheed Rehman Parra. Also, we are being told that this is in connection with the terror conspiracy case of suspended Jammu and Kashmir Police DSP Davinder Singh and Naveed Babu, terrorist Naveed Babu's case, which is being probed by the NIA. We are being told that as far as Waheed Rehman Parra is concerned, he was basically called in for questioning for almost 2 days. At this stage, Richard, what is the basic allegation that is leveled against PDP Youth President Parra is concerned? That is still not known. The NIA has just confirmed to Republic TV that the arrest has already taken place. Now, important to point out here how Parra has been a close aide of Mehbooba Mufti and has played a crucial role in propagating PDP's ideology, especially in South Kashmir itself, and also trying to whip up the youth sentiment in South Kashmir. As far as his direct role in this case is concerned, it remains to be seen what exactly has the NIA really come across as far as his direct link with Davinder Singh is concerned. Because remember, this suspended police officer, Davinder Singh, a charge sheet has already been filed by the National Investigation Agency. And the NIA, in fact, has basically found out how he was in touch with several of these terrorist groups. Also, Richard, a breaking news coming in. This is what the NIA is telling me, that the allegation that has been leveled against Waheed Parra is that he was supporting activities of Hizbul Mujahideen. Now, that's a big development. That's a confirmation now coming in from the National Investigation Agency.
All right, let's also go across to my colleague Zeenat joining us with more on this. Zeenat, big update coming in that Waheed Parra, in fact, has now been arrested by the NIA. Please share more updates. We're also getting an update that Waheed had played a big role in reviewing the PDP in South Kashmir, particularly in the Pulwama belt, which is otherwise known as the LET belt as well.
See, absolutely, as we talk about the role of Waheed Parra in reviving PDP, it's huge. In fact, we have been seeing PDP's Waheed Parra sharing the shoulder with Mehbooba Mufti most of the times. Particularly, he revived PDP in South Kashmir with his connections. That's why PDP got a huge mandate when they came in power a few years back. In fact, Waheed was grilled by NIA. 2 days in Delhi, he had been, where we are getting that he has now been arrested. In fact, this was the third time when NIA had called Waheed Parra for questioning, although the case is related to DYSP Davinder Singh, and he, along with the HM commander Naveed Babu, traveling to moving outside the state of state of Jammu and Kashmir. But this is going to be a big blow to PDP in coming elections, because he was also fighting elections from South Kashmir. In fact, he is known one of the closest aide of Mehbooba Mufti, and had also served under he was also detained by the government after the abrogation of Article 370. Needs to see how the PDP's Mehbooba Mufti, along with other colleagues, is going to react about the Waheed Parra's arrest. But this was coming in because the way the NIA has been cracking its whip along, all those who have been instigating violence in Kashmir, particularly Waheed, as per our sources, was involved in some of the anti-India movement, particularly in South Kashmir. He was the part of certain terrorist groups. That is what we are being told. But as of now, there is no confirmation as the Waheed role in instigating violence in South Kashmir. This is what we are picking from the sources. But this is going to be a big blow to the Mehbooba Mufti fighting elections for DDC, because right now the PDP is also the part of People Alliance for Gupkar Declaration, and Mehbooba is all out training guns against BJP. In fact, today again she was in Zanpura Shopian, where she said that BJP can go to any extent, whether to hurl grenade towards the campaigning sites, or they will be using all money, power, muscle, everything to keep this alliance away from winning. But at the same time, she has also appealed today to the people of Jammu and Kashmir that they should come forward and vote for the candidates of the alliance, and in order to convey their message to the Delhi and the favorites of BJP here, what actually the Kashmiris want. So Mehbooba has already hinted that the central government is going to use all power, muscle, everything to keep these candidates away from the upcoming polls. But yes, Para's arrest is coming a big blow to the PDP in J&K.
In fact, Zeenat, we are also getting in a big update that NIA sources have now confirmed to Republic that PDP's Para was in touch with several of the Hizbul leaders as well, and he was supporting their activities in the Valley region.
This is Richa, what I am telling you, that there are the reports, but as there are no official confirmation about it, but there had been the role of Para in instigating violence in Jammu and Kashmir as far as his closeness to the terror outfits, be it the Hizbul Mujahideen, and particularly for the Lashkar Toiba. Because if you remember, the Lashkar has been quite active in Pulwama, and where from Waheed Para actually comes. In fact, he has revived PDP in South Kashmir that almost lost when Umar Abdullah became the chief minister of erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir. So PDP is really, the Para is known for his tactics, for his policies, and he's a man who keeps his eyes and ears open when it comes to dealing with the terror outfits or to the people of Jammu and Kashmir. This will be seen as the biggest setback for Mehbooba Mufti, the president of PDP, when his close has been arrested by NIA in Delhi, because Para is also a candidate for upcoming DDC polls. So Mehbooba Mufti needs to be seen how Mehbooba will deal with the situation, because when Para will be out from DDC polls this time. So there had been a lot of crackdowns that had been coming from the NIA since 2017. They have arrested separatist leaders, they have arrested businessmen. In fact, they have also questioned many of the relatives of the politicians, but this time they have cracked their whip.
All right, Zeenat, thank you so much for getting us the latest. In fact, stay with us. We'll also go across to my colleague Shravan. Shravan, you have certain big updates coming in as far as his arrest is concerned. Please share it.
The top sources, which have now confirmed that Waheed Para was allegedly supporting activities of Hizbul Mujahideen, and not just that, he was also in touch with Naveed Babu and Irfan Shafi Mir. That's a confirmation now coming in from top sources within the National Investigation Agency, which goes on to clearly indicate how Waheed Para was in touch with a terrorist organization like Hizbul Mujahideen. And not only that, Davinder Singh had turned out to become the conduit between Waheed Para and several of the Hizbul terrorists. This is a big development, because for the first time, what we're essentially looking at right now is a PDP youth neta's direct links with a terrorist organization. Now, how exactly is the NIA substantiating their claims? I'm being told by my sources that they have essentially got certain evidence in terms of digital evidence, and also, more importantly, corroborative evidence of the fact that Waheed Para was directly in touch with Naveed as well as Irfan Shafi Mir. And what was he exactly doing? He was aiding the activities of Hizbul Mujahideen, especially in South Kashmir. Just to take it forward from where Zeenat had actually left, the significance of Waheed Para in South Kashmir itself, how he has been playing a very important, rather a key role of enhancing the activities of not just his political party PDP. What the NIA essentially believes that he was also aiding the activities of Hizbul Mujahideen. Now, that's a big confirmation really coming in from my sources within the NIA.
All right, so as my colleague Shravan has been stating, NIA sources have confirmed to Republic TV that PDP's Para was in touch with Navid and Irfan Shafi Mir as well.